Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Gooey's Dungeon Dive, the mini podcast where I chronologically rank every dungeon in the Legend of Zelda series. It's episode 3, and we're talking about level 3, the Manji from the Legend of Zelda for NES. This one takes its shape from the Manji symbol, which I believe is a Japanese Buddhist symbol. You know, the shape of it makes for a slightly more similar and like cohesive layout to the eagle, I think, where you have almost like 4 separate wings to explore. And, you know, there's kind of an interesting object in each part, let's just say, or an point of interest in every location. So, you know, you come up, you got your entrance, right? But then there's one wing that has like the key item of the dungeon, the object you're searching out for, which is the raft in this case. Just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny. You know, you just kind of need it to get to a couple spots. I think just one dungeon and one location. But in this dungeon, it doesn't serve a purpose. But I don't know. I always think it's fun that, you know, seeing Link hold the raft over his head. Why not? It's pretty sick. And then you've got the, I guess the other wing to the north. We will dub the Old Man Wing, which is, again, another classic. Not as classic as the first two, but the old man here gives us some great advice, which is to seek out the sword from the old man above the waterfall, which I think it's great advice for this point in the game, because the first 2 dungeons, I think, are a little easy, you know, kind of challenging if you don't have any upgrades, but this dungeon here is a serious step up in difficulty, in my opinion. Mostly just because you have the Dark Nuts, which are pretty hard to fight. They're these cool-looking knights that charge around the room. They're stomping around, and you can only hit them from their side. You can't hit them head-on, and I think they're actually pretty fun to fight, but there's some rooms where there's a ton of them, and yeah, they can get tricky. Bombs will help in this for sure, but I mean, getting that sword is big time what you're gonna need to do. There's not as many enemies in this one otherwise. You got a Zol, which is kind of a upgrade of the gel, and it can split apart. But then you got a bubble, which can make you know, it doesn't hurt you, but you can't use your sword, which can be annoying in some rooms. But you know, and keys, because they just show up everywhere, because why not? But otherwise, I mostly just think of it as the Dark Nut Zol dungeon. But again, it's cool. You know, you've got this cool layout. You know, you've got multiple routes you can take. You can save some keys if you know where you're going, even without bombing walls, which you can still do. And again, the dungeon gives you more keys than than there are doors, which will be useful to have later on. You know, I think that's pretty cool. I think this game, it does a good job of peppering in keys to make the exploration here a little bit more freeform. And then, okay, so then there's one final wing of the dungeon, let's just say, and it's the leading to the boss, which is, of course, Manhandla. Another classic Zelda boss, I suppose. It's appeared in a few games, but this is, I don't know, we've got a good streak going with the bosses, if not the items, right? But yeah, it's a freaky looking boss. It's got 4 heads, you know, going around its body, and you got to kill them all. And you know, I think it's shooting fireballs at you. It's definitely a step up in difficulty again, for sure. It can be very hard to try and kill with your sword, but you know what? If you're a savvy player, you can place a well-placed bomb that one hit kills the heads, and if you get it right in the middle, it's so satisfying if you just boom, get it right there, kill all the heads at once. Very, very cool. So this can be either a really tough boss or a really simple boss. Again, another good step up from the first two in terms of difficulty. With our ranking here, we've just got the first two dungeons, and I'm thinking this is definitely better than the moon, but I don't know. I feel like the lack of enemies, it's mostly dark nuts. It's kind of cool that there's a bunch of dark nuts, but I kind of would like a little bit more diversity. Maybe if there was one other enemy type, that'd have been cool. I don't know. The old man wing is a little less useful, but I guess that's a great tip, especially if you're in that dungeon struggling. So I'm not going to be too negative about that. But then again, the item. So we haven't had good luck with items, but at least in the first dungeon, you got two, and one was the boomerang, which was useful to get. So I'm gonna have this placed at number 2, just below level 1. So right now our ranking is at number 3, we have level 2, the moon. At number 2, we have level 3, the Manji. And number 1, the best dungeon in The Legend of Zelda so far, is level 1, the eagle. So there we have it. Let me know what you think of this ranking. Be sure to come back next time where we'll be talking about level 4. Isn't that exciting? If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And of course, thanks for watching.